with respect to rectangles, so we all know a rectangle has angles that are what? 90 degrees, right? So all the angles in a rectangle are right angles or 90 degrees. Okay? And the reason is a rectangle is defined as a parallelogram with 4 equal angles. Well, if the total sum of the angles in a quadrilateral is what? 360, the 4 equal angles of 360 would give you 360 over 4, which is each angle being 90 degrees. Okay. Now, what about the diagonals of a rectangle? Let's say we have, let's say we draw in one diagonal of this rectangle. Okay, so if we take this diagonal and look at the triangle formed here, let's say we call this side A, this side B, and this side C. What's the relationship between those three pieces? It's a right angle here, so A squared plus B squared has to equal C squared. So you can solve for C using Pythagorean theorem here. Well, what if we drew in our other diagonal and did the same thing? We found this triangle. Well, because it's a parallelogram, opposite sides are equal. So this side is A, this side is still B. And so when you're looking at this diagonal, we have A squared plus B squared is equal to, also what relationship has to exist here? This other diagonal has to be a length of C also. Okay, so the diagonals of a rectangle are equal to each other. Okay, so there's no other parallelogram that has equal diagonals. If it has equal diagonals, you're dealing with a rectangle. Okay. So would a square have equal diagonals? Yes, because a square is also considered a rectangle. Okay, now, are there any other quadrilaterals that might have equal diagonals? It is possible, and many of them, right? If you just took two legs that are the same length, they're two sides the same length. So I could take, if we wanted to take a segment that is that exact same length. Okay, so if I took these two things, I could intersect them in any way if I connected the vertices. So if I connected these to form a quadrilateral. Okay. Any of these, this would all be examples of a quadrilateral with equal diagonals, right? So it doesn't have to be anything specific. However, if those diagonals happen to be exactly the same, then you would be dealing with a rectangle.